to offer their knowledge and expertise to help find a solution for managing public debt.
The second in command was addressing accountants in Mombasa, asked the professionals to provide insights on how to manage public debts, which he said is a crisis the nation is currently facing. Gachagua once again pointed a blaming finger at Uhuru Kenyatta's administration, which he said left behind public debts amounting to 9.6 trillion Kenyan shillings, alongside 900 billion Kenyan shillings pending in bills.
Huge public debt, 9.6 trillion, 900 billion pending bills. Eurobond, 2 billion, accruing interest between 12 to almost 16%. Those debts must be paid. And we are inviting you, good people, to help us with ideas of what we do, how we can go about it, how do we avoid them in future.
Gachagua also emphasized that it was every Kenyan's responsibility to pay debts. He further urged those asking the government to default on the debts to stop running sideshows and instead table ideas and thoughts on managing public debts, as he added that defaulting on the debts will only lead the country to blacklisting as a banana republic.
Are these people shouting left, right, and center telling us to default so that we can be blacklisted as a banana republic? Are they telling us not to pay the Eurobond? Are they telling us not to pay what we owe the local banks? We want them to come and tell us. Don't just shout. Offer a solution. These debts are on record.
While commenting on the government's efforts to clear the mess they inherited, Gachagua assured Kenyans that they were working towards putting figures together in order to reveal the mischiefs committed during the previous regime. He further pledged the government's determination to fix the economy in due time.
Has traveled around the country, the world, engaging multilateral leaders, the IMF, the World Bank, key partners, the United States, the People's Republic of China. Currently, he has just left Germany for France to see how we partner with the world to get us out of the mess we are in. And it has started to pay. Yesterday, the World Bank made a huge pronouncement of 12 billion US dollars in the next 3 years.
In his address, the DP also assured professionals of plans to establish a framework that will coordinate better remuneration and review of many regulations in their line of duty. Sylvester Ogembo, KUTV.
The Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission has managed to recover previously grabbed public properties in Mombasa. The prime properties include 3 estates housing government staff quarters in the Buxton area, Nyali and Shanzu. EACC has emphasized its mandate to restore the property's possession to the public. Mombasa County Governor Abdul Swamad Nasir confirmed that all stolen property will be put back into public use for the development of the county. The governor has also urged public servants to use their power for public good.
EACC filed a case before the court, and we managed to recover the 3 pieces of land and the value of this particular area that has been recovered.
Who are in other positions, whether they're my seniors or my juniors, advice is be careful of what you do. Always remember that it will always catch up. It will always catch up.
And today morning, 10 people were arrested on their way to the Nakuru Law Courts for the second day of hearing in the case against former Mungiki leader Maina Njenga. The hearing was disrupted due to protests against the police presence. Lawyer Ndegwa Njiru criticized the decision to have armed police blocking roads, describing the attempts as intended to intimidate citizens. Maina Njenga's case continued nonetheless after the court rejected Njenga's request for the dropping of charges. Judge Kipkurui Kibelion officially began the hearing yesterday. The court is expected to decide on the case tomorrow. And And on matters related to the ongoing rains, 2 elderly men drowned in Garissa and Hulugo towns following heavy downpour that lasted for over 6 hours in the early morning of Tuesday, leaving behind a trail of destruction. While confirming the 2 incidents, Garissa Acting County Commissioner Solomon Chesut said that the 2 were trying to cross flooded roads when they were swept away. Virginia Mudeu prepared this report. 2 elderly individuals died following heavy rains witnessed in Garissa County. According to Garissa County Commissioner Solomon Chesut, the 2 were trying to cross flooded roads when they were swept away and were found in the morning.
Last night, it rained over the whole night, and unfortunately, we lost 2 lives. One in Garissa sub-county, another one in Libo sub-county, due to floods. The 2 old men got drowned. Their bodies were recovered in the morning, and police have taken the necessary action.
The rain has continued to cause damage, destroying homes, roadside shops, and causing pit latrines to collapse in the county. Chesut urged citizens not to traverse flooded roads or cross rivers during this rainy period, while also requesting aid agencies and other partners to assist in delivering food and any necessary help to the affected areas.
So we are appealing to donors and like-minded colleagues, both from the national and the county government, to assist us airlift food to those sub-counties which are cut off.
An event involving the transportation of examination materials was also disrupted due to a tragic helicopter accident that occurred in Masalani sub-county, still in Garissa, this morning, resulting in the death of a deputy head teacher. According to the county commissioner, Ahmed Nur Ismail, the teacher from Masalani Primary School was involved in the accident after being hit on the head by the helicopter's tail rotor as it was lifting off.
The helicopter which was ferrying exams from Masalani, this is his container, got involved in an accident where one deputy head teacher, Ahmed Nur Ismail, was hit on the head by the rear rotor of the helicopter. He died on the spot.
The national government, according to Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, has since disbursed 10 billion shillings to counties hard hit by El Nino rains and floods. Heavy rains in Mombasa and the larger coastal region have also been projected to continue until January 31st by the weatherman, as citizens in the affected areas continue to cry for help. Denis Omondi reporting for KUTV. Okay, Denis Omondi voiced that story, but it was actually produced by Virginia Mudeu. Now, after this short break, we are coming back with an interview on the state of the nation, that is the state of politics basically in the country. Joining me for that conversation will be Eston Maina, who is a political scientist, and of course we have Ngugi Ndegwa, who is a sociologist, a political analyst, and of course the national chairman of the NAC Kenya Youth League. You want to stay around for that. Don't go too far.
My name is Jakub Petri. I'm Associate Professor in the Institute of Philosophy of Jagiellonian University in Krakow, Poland. And I'm the main coordinator of the Cafe project, which is being here hosted by Kenyatta University.
My name is Ewa Hudoba. I am a project manager in this consortium. Keep watching cutting-edge research at Kenyatta University Television.
Technology, science, innovation, ICT and research. These are the ingredients upon which the solutions to the 21st century problems are founded. In a world that is rapidly changing, it's all hands on deck to ensure a balance in all fields of life. Women young and old are also in the front line, breaking the glass ceiling, becoming thought leaders in the larger tech space. Not forgetting other societies marginalized. And when the tech Avengers come together, we inch closer to a much safer, efficient, and sustainable world. What we view as a norm in today's advanced world was just an idea, and for nostalgic reasons, we trace back the iconic days to bring you the retro tech. On Tech Innovation Show, we encapsulate all the pillars of the fourth industrial revolution, decoded in a language, all for one for all. Every Monday at 8:30 as we push the mantra, keep learning something new each and every day. Only on KUTV, a new experience.
Lola is an app that gives you a chance to watch videos, listen to audios, and read articles wherever you are for free. Motivational stories, dramas, campus life, technology, lifestyle, adventure, sports, academics, jobs, entertainment, and more. Download Lola now on Play Store. All you need, you got Lola.
A loving husband and father.
Nothing is too good for my daughter.
An ambitious businessman with a dark secret. A girl with a whole life in front of her, plunging into a marriage that she did not choose with the wrong man.
I'm not ready to marry Zema.
But who is the right one? I love Nambi. A rock star, living the dream.
But the babes keep chasing me, Agissa.
It ain't easy being famous, especially with so many glamorous women around. A woman hell-bent on revenge.
You will pay.
Seductive, dangerous. She is a predator. Everybody needs it. Everybody wants it. They will do anything to get it. Love and wealth.
Kutoka kuwa jamii ya kuhamahama na sasa kujumuisha kilimo katika mitindo yao ya maisha. Kwenye toleo la kaunti ya Narok, hii ni Boresha Kilimo, kwani afya bora ni kilimo bora.
Kwani kilimo ndicho huboresha maisha.
Haya, vijana hoye!
They speak to play politics.
Kila mara yeye ananiwinda kama mnyama. Naambia yeye Mungu iko. Mungu iko na sitarudi nyuma.
They speak words strong enough to change policy and the law.
We have a very democratic system. We have a system that is based on the rule of law.
They speak to the heart of the nation for the nation.
Simu imeleta mambo mingi sana. Mimi hata nataka ifungwe kabisa, na ifungwe hata WhatsApp na Facebook zifungwe kabisa.
When facts get lost in all these words, we aim for the truth. Join me, Denis Omondi, every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. as I serve you the news and speak to your leaders and their observers to establish nothing but the truth, only on KUTV.
Welcome back to KUTV News at 9. This is the second part of our news broadcast tonight. Remember, this is the time when we get to discuss the political hot topics. This past week has been characterized by several political events. A lot has happened. Some even argue that the week that passed was probably one of the worst weeks in the life of this Kenya Kwanza government. That aside, President Ruto is currently in France, and I think he's supposed to be flying back anytime from now. Party politics is also going on. Jubilee just minutes ago effected changes to some positions within the party. Talk of Uhuru Kenyatta's return, all this and even the ongoing El Nino rains we want to discuss as much as time will allow us tonight. But first of all, allow me to introduce my guests in studio. I'm having Eston Maina. Thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Thank you for having us, Denis.
Eston is a political scientist, and of course, sitting right beside Eston is Ngugi Ndegwa. Ngugi Ndegwa has a lot of descriptions attached to his name, but allow me to just say he's the NAC Kenya Youth League national chairman. Okay, thank you so much, gentlemen, once again, and welcome to KUTV.
Thank you so much.
I want us to start from our top story this evening, which has got something to do with President Ruto's trips. Yesterday was in Germany, today he's in France. He has visited several other countries before. Are these trips luxury, or they actually have benefits for the country? Eston?
I think it's a bit funny to see an administration do the opposite of what they promised their people. Because I believe this administration promised that it was going to be present and available for its people, and that is why it related more with Mama Mbogas and the watu wa boda boda. But recently, the Mama Mboga in the picture is the IMF, and the mtu wa boda boda is the World Bank, because these are the people we see our president every now and then associating with. I think there has been a fresh demand from the opposition based on the dialogue, and they requested that this government should consider cutting down 30% of the domestic and foreign travel. Do you know how much that goes to cover? It is going to cut 230 billion of the taxpayers' money based on these travels. And I recall the president saying that out of these travels, we have been able to, to invite or to attract 2 trillion shillings worth of loans. The same very administration that promised that they were not longer going to take any more loans. So is it working for us, or is it working for the people in government? That is a question of the day.
And Ndegwa, just speaking from where he's left, is it really fair to accuse President William Ruto of being an absent president, so to speak, when we normally see, I don't remember the last Sunday we spent without seeing President Ruto going to the grassroots. He goes there for church services. I mean, he's still there. The people who want to see him still see him. Is it fair to accuse him of being absent?
First of all, let me thank you for having invited me to this show. I do not take it for granted. And second, to say it will be unfair to say that the president is wrong in traveling, because again, he has his reasons. And remember, every president has, when they come to power, they have their own styles of working. I will refer to a time when I was not born, and that is when the president, the founding president of this nation, was in power. And from the stories I gather, he never traveled really much. Not because he did not want to travel, but probably because of what I hear, health issues. Maybe he had his own fears of traveling or being on the plane. But that notwithstanding, again, we see that there is a president now who wants to travel, and in his own view, he thinks that is good for the nation, because he sees it as a way to attract friends, to go to friends, because probably they will not come to him. And I will summarize that in one phrase by saying that if the mountain will not go to Moses, then Moses must go to the mountain. And so that is what, in my view, the president is doing, going to the mountain to find what he must find. Now, the only problem will be if then he does not meet what he needs, he goes there to meet.
Okay.
But if it works, then why not?
Okay.
That is why he's the president. Yes.
Eston, this I think goes to you. Today I was looking at the president's address to the EU Parliament.
Yes.
This is the first time he's doing this.
Okay.
And the president of the EU Parliament, when introducing him to speak, referred to Kenya as a strategic ally in the African continent. These are recognitions. Do you think it just came about, or it is because of the president actually putting the country out there through these trips and other initiatives? We've even seen several heads of states and governments visiting here.
Okay. What I can say is that I like to give credit where it's due. Okay, we have a president who happens to be a very good orator, and out of that, based on the public addresses he has had outside the precincts of our country, we have been able to attract some recognition from other countries and other investors. Notwithstanding, we have a president who has traveled more in his first year than some presidents have done in 2 terms. We have to balance, we have to strike a balance, and I believe that is why we have ambassadors. So why do we have high commissioners? Or why is he doing the work of the high commissioners, the ambassadors? I believe we have the CEs for foreign affairs. Are these people incompetent? Is this why the president has to come in? Because I remember there was a time he said that if I as the president know more than you do in your ministry, then that should be a problem. Is this what is forcing the president to have to oversee the deals himself? Because I believe he can send these people, and that is why he delegated power as the president, because we also need him here. We also need him to listen to us. But when you have a president who is operating on transit like cargo, now it becomes a problem, because now we have a president who is more of a globetrotter. He's only globetrotting all over the world.
So would I be misquoting you if I said in simple terms what you're saying is that we have a president who is micromanaging how things happen, and a president who doesn't really have trust in people who he has himself given power
appointed
to execute some of these roles?
Exactly, and that would happen when you award positions based on political tokenship as opposed to merit. Because if you have people you trust yourself, you would not see any need to micromanage. But when you yourself know, I only appointed my buddies who may maybe not be as competent, then you have the problem, or you have the trust issues. Yeah.
I think, Ndegwa, let's come back to putting this against the home front.
Yes.
Clearly the president is working and doing a lot on the international front. Do you think he's not achieving much as at the home front? Are things falling asunder while he is globetrotting, as some may put it?
Definitely, there is a lot to be desired in as far as the Kenyan economy is concerned, and as far as what we have in our pockets is concerned. I will say that things seem to be falling apart. That is for sure, and that is something that we cannot deny. But again, I will give the president the benefit of the doubt by saying that probably what people say that it gets worse before it gets better could be true. And if that is anything to go by, then probably if we were to allow the president probably to work out his plan, and that is what I've been saying from the very start, that the president has been in power for like a year or something, or even probably more. But if we were to give him a little more time to be able to understand what his game plan is, and if that plan is a game changer, then we will be able to understand. But in regards to his global politics and his view of things internationally, I think he's perfect on it. He has his grasp on it. I really liked what he did in his first months as president when he started the Pan-Africanist campaign.
Yeah.
Though along the way he seems to have changed his heart. I don't know why he has, but I really admired that side of a Pan-Africanist president. If he would have kept on it, then that would have been perfect. But nonetheless, I will say that probably we should give him more time.
But the president speaks like an African leader. Even today, the speech that I'm referring to, which he gave to the EU Parliament, he spoke like the Kenyan president, and also like a champion for the whole continent, not just Kenya.
But the only place he faltered is when the king was in town. I think that to every Pan-Africanist we agree that there was something that was amiss. But nonetheless, I like his Pan-Africanist agenda. I like his view of international politics. And I'm hoping, and I'm using the word hoping, that his plan becomes a game changer, because we need that. But in regards to where we are at now, I will say let's give him time, because again, the economy is not something that you just flip and it changes.
Okay, I want us to go now to party politics. Enough with the trips of the president. And Jubilee Party will form a very big part of this. But before that, Uhuru returns from nowhere. The president, former president, that is back. And he's back with a message. He's saying, hey, leave me out of your mess. When you fail to succeed in what you are doing, let me not be taking the fall for what you have done. President Uhuru Kenyatta's return. Is it a game changer in the political space, or he did not deliver presidency to Raila Odinga? Will he make any change when he comes back?
This is what I will say. I think it was important for him to come back, because now, as my colleague here said, that we need to give this regime time, as they have always said. But what do we judge this administration based upon? We judge them on the time frames that they give us. We do not give them the time frames. They are the people who came while campaigning and told the public, we will deliver so and so, this and that, at this particular time. So we do not push the government based on our own idea of how a government should operate. We push them based on their own time frames. So then to come back again and say we are not delivering on our promises because the former president left empty coffers, then you go ahead and borrow more than he borrowed in one term to cover the same, to bridge the same gap. So are you making it better for us, or are you making it worse? So I think it's timely. It was long overdue. For some of us, we missed him because we still need his guidance, because he's still young. As you can see, even in the developed countries, we have the likes of Obama mentoring the current president. It is not unheard of. And I would want a situation where the president or the government of the day and the retired president, sit on one table, because he was there and he understands maybe the realms of power more than this regime, because he has been there longer. So I'd find it more prudent when we have this government working together with our former president. So it is timely, and I believe if we use it accordingly, it could work for our own benefit and for the good of the country.
Okay, you speak about the relationship between Barack Obama and Joe Biden.
Yes.
But that is something we are not seeing in Kenya soon, and we are not going to see. The relationship, I think it was broken beyond repair. But we look at that and many more when we return from this break. Don't go too far. When we come back, we look at the resurrection of Raila Odinga. This 17 billion shillings oil, I don't know if it is good to call it a scandal yet.
It is a saga.
Maybe we wait for investigations to continue. But anyway, we come back, we look into that after this break.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audio-visual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
So my name is Kutv. I'm associate professor in the Institute of Philosophy of Jagiellonian University in Krakow, Poland, and I'm the main coordinator of the Cafe project, which is being here hosted by Kenyatta University.
My name is Kutv. I am a project manager in this consortium. Keep watching cutting-edge research at Kenyatta University Television.
Welcome back. We are still continuing our discussion here on the State of the Nation. With me in studio is still Eston Maina, a political scientist, and of course Ngugi Ndegwa, who is the national chairman, NAC Kenya Youth League. Thank you so much. Let's start from you, Bwana Chairman.
Yes.
Your party is basically in opposition.
Yes.
And your party even had you won, you would be having the deputy president as we speak. But lately, we are seeing Azimio, then we are seeing Kamwene. Is opposition still united?
There is a lot to be desired. That is one thing that I would say. Nonetheless, I would say that Kenya needs, you will notice that I'm trying to evade that side of conversation, but Kenya needs a very strong opposition. And what I would say that now we do not have that kind of opposition, because you will notice that there is one side of the opposition that is on the table doing the bipartisan talks, while there is another one that is outside the table and threatening to go back to the streets. At this point, if the cost of living was really the question, I would say it is a good plan, and we need an opposition for that.
Just before you move further, I want to know who kicked out this other side out of the dialogue table. Did they move out of this table voluntarily? How can the other side be on the table and this other side is sitting outside? Why?
For now, I would also want to understand. Because as far as I'm concerned, the NAC Kenya party, and I'm not saying that as a spokesperson because I'm not, as a member of the party, I am not well briefed about the Kamwene, and also as a member of the Azimio, I'm lost because I do not understand whether we are on the table or not. So for now, I will really try to wade away from such a question because I do not really understand. But I'm hoping in the future to understand. But as at now, what I'm saying is that we really do not have it as far as the opposition is concerned. And we need to get to a place where we have a strong opposition that is united, whether it is one party, whether it is a coalition of parties, but we need an opposition that is united and that is focused on the agenda of the people. That's it.
Right now, what we are seeing is the 17 billion shillings oil. Yes. We still don't know the owner.
Okay.
One person is claiming ownership, then the government, even state agencies, Kenya Ports Authority saying no, it doesn't belong to Ann Njeri. But Raila Odinga has taken on the whole issue. He seems to be using it to rebrand himself, to go back to Raila Odinga of the Eurobond expose, the days when he exposed Eurobond and all that. Do you think that this scandal is finally going to give us back the opposition?
Hopefully so. And before I tackle that, I want to put it out there that some members of the the Kamwene Unity Forum formed part of the technical team of the National Dialogue Committee, if you remember, if you recall profusely. So this saga, I don't know if we should call it a scandal yet, like you said, but I believe it has brought back the opposition, because now we have seen the opposition leader now openly criticizing the government that we thought he was going to go to bed with upon the bipartisan talks. And now it is a very weird scenario to see, where we are claiming, or the government is claiming, that it was a government-to-government deal, and at the same time they cannot substantiate and say this was the documentation that was put forth while we ordered for the oil. This is the documentation through all across the ports, because I was privileged when during my campus years, I happened to intern at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Yes. And one thing that was clear and apparent is that for any transit that is across borders, you have to, there's something that was called an in-flight and out-flight. If it's a flight, for every country you cross over, any airspace, you have to write to them when you enter and when you leave. And I believe the same applies for ship. You have to write to all those, those coastlines that you pass along before you get to your destination country. Do they have all the documentation? If it was the government indeed that ordered for the oil, then we have this other party that has the documentation, but states that now we have the government saying that the documentation is forged. Yeah. Okay, and upon maybe further, let me say, deciphering of the situation, we have then a very learned lawyer saying that upon following the money trail, that in September we had a withdrawal by the from the consolidated fund by the Ministry of Petroleum, what do we call it? Energy and Petroleum. They withdrew 16.2 billion. Then we pushed that forward to January. That is 4 months later. There was another withdrawal of 9 billion. Then we go to June. A few months before, now we have the 17.2 billion scandal. The exact same figure was withdrawn from the consolidated fund. So you are juxtaposing the two. That was under the disguise of subsidizing on oil products. This is my question. If it was supposed to subsidize private companies, who are these private companies? And if it was public money, why don't we document these private companies? It should be in the public domain.
Okay. So at this point, first of all, allow me to withdraw a statement I made. I called it a scandal. I think it is premature to call it a scandal because we are still waiting for the investigating agencies to look into that. I'm also eager to see what the parliamentary committees will come up with when they choose to investigate this, because I believe this is something that at the end we'll have to get there. I understand Anjeri has been summoned by one of the committees to explain the source of this. So maybe moving forward, we'll be able to get a clear picture of that. But we are expecting the National Dialogue Committee to give the report of their findings, I think this Friday, this week. But when you are looking at a situation where the opposition is really making hard tackles at the government, is this an indication that perhaps the opposition has looked at what the recommendations might be and it doesn't look really promising for them?
I think I will go first. I think there is, as I had stated earlier, that we have a huge problem within the opposition because they do not speak as one. And that is where the problem is, that there is division in as far as this team that is called the opposition is concerned. And so there are issues that these people do not yet grasp, in my view, that they did not from the very start agree that these are the issues that we are going to present as a team, and that these other issues we will put aside. Now, without first agreeing as a team that you will put aside some issues and go forge forward with others, and no matter what comes, then it becomes difficult at the end to separate self-interest from what you call the interest of the people. And I think that is where the opposition faltered. But I think also that there is some level of insincerity on both ends, from the side of the government and from the side of the opposition.
Yeah.
Because I would ask, and these are the questions that people should ask, where did the issue of food prices go to? Where did the issue of cost of living go to?
Yeah.
Where are all these other issues that we need to be hearing apart from the having the office of the official opposition leader in such positions? So I think there is some loss of direction in as far as these bipartisan talks are concerned, and it will not be a surprise if they failed. And if they were to succeed at this point, then it means that self-interest has won, because again, remember, this is politics. Everyone is there to represent what they want. Election is over. I think, in my view, now these are people trying now to set themselves for the next race.
For the next race.
And that is politics.
Okay, let's look at party politics even as we wind up. Jubilee Party just released a statement a few minutes back before we came on air. It is saying that it is taking off the party leadership Honorable Naomi Shaban, Honorable Peter Ole Mositet, Honorable Angwenyi Jimmy Ondieki, Honorable Nelson Zuya was the party chairman, that is Mr. Joel Kibe, Reverend Mutava Musimi, and Honorable Fatuma Gedi, as well as Joshua Kutuny, who was the former Secretary General. And what Deputy Secretary General, what they are citing is the fact that they were appointed by this government, are serving in different positions. And they are saying that the law says a state official should not be an official in a party. Politics are going on in several parties, not even Jubilee. ODM expects to have an election in February. UDA is doing theirs in April. When is NAK Kenya doing their election?
That one I will wait for the information from the Secretary General, Honorable Orwa.
Yeah.
But in as far as elections are concerned, that one I will not answer, because that should be given, is information that should be disseminated by the office of the Secretary General.
But at least there are plans. You've heard of anything?
Not that I've heard of.
Yeah.
But we will hear in the future, probably, and I'm hoping so.
Now, as we close, UDA party postponed their elections. People are saying there could be differences within the party. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua particularly, he's not spoken to it, but people who are his foot soldiers, like the governor of Nyeri, Mutahi Kahiga, is saying we cannot divide the position of the deputy president. If you're having one party leader, let's have one deputy party leader. Are there plans to water down the powers of DP Gachagua within the UDA party?
Okay, thank you. Allow me to join the three questions, and I'll do it swiftly. There was the question of the talks, that we the Bomas talks. I like to call them the Bomas talks. That is the dialogue committee. Yeah. It is important to note that when we talk about the claims that, most people think that it was the opposition that came up with the idea of having the office of the opposition leader. No, it came from the government side, and that was a way of trying to lure the opposition to maybe passing the office of the Prime Cabinet Secretary. Yes. When you look at the opposition, the demands that they have laid, the fresh demands, they resonate with the people because they touch on the cost of living. It is important that we look at this, the list of these demands. They are asking the government to lower the road maintenance cost from 5 shillings, from 18 shillings per litre to 5 shillings. That one will lower the cost of fuel. They're asking the government to zero rate on basic food commodities. Yeah. That touches on the lives of the people. Now, I will go to Jubilee. I think it is important that for any party, it has to be governed by the rules and regulations of the party, which dictate that any member that does not serve the interests of the party should not be a member of that party. And on the question of the UD elections, I think we have a very disingenuous regime, that blames, on one time they're blaming the former president. Now we have them blaming God, because they say they postponed the elections due to the El Nino. That's what they say. Now they're blaming God. And it is clear that there are wrangles within the party. There's one faction that wants us to have 2 deputy party leaders. Then there's a faction that says if we have in the national, setup of politics, we have the president and the deputy. Why do we have 2 at the political party, at the party level? So there are some underhands that they're trying to shortchange maybe the deputy president Gachagua, and his cronies know that, and that's why we have problems. And it is clear that some members, like Senator Boni Alwali, petitioned that Cleophas Malala, the SG of the party, was misusing power. So there are wrangles within the party, and of course the question of the people themselves. The people are not happy at the ground. They knew it would be hostile to hold these elections.
Okay, just a minute.
Okay, last word, please.
Yes, I think it is also good that we be honest that in every party, and this is political parties and the politics in them, is that there will always be disagreements and agreements at times. But the essence of it is that if a party can be able to overcome such disagreements and differences, then that is the essence of it. But in as far as the politics of this country is concerned, all parties do have wrangles at one particular time.
Okay.
But if they are able to overcome, then that is what we call a party that has overcome the test of time, or has been able to undergo the test of time.
Okay.
Yes.
You are giving the president's party a clean bill of health. You are still skeptical.
Where there is smoke, there is fire.
Okay. And I would say that as far as the ruling party is concerned, I will say I'm not a member of that party, but I will say they have come closest to being a party that is admired.
Okay, so fine. Fine. Thank you so much.
Thank
you so much for joining me for the State of the Nation. I've been speaking to Eston Maina, who is a political scientist. Thank you so much, gentlemen. And we have also been speaking to Ngugi Ndegwa, who is a sociologist, political analyst, and the national chairman of the NAC Kenya Youth League. Thank you so much. We take a short break. We'll be right back in a moment.
Kuwa jamii ya kuhamahama na sasa kujumuisha kilimo katika mitindo yao ya maisha. Kwenye toleo la kaunti ya Narok, hii ni Boresha Kilimo, kwani afya bora ni kilimo bora.
Kwani kilimo ndicho boresha maisha.
Okay, welcome back. Let's continue with the sports news now. Harambee Stars secured their first victory in the World Cup qualifying group stage games after defeating Seychelles 5-0 in a match which was played in Abidjan, Ivory Coast yesterday. Stars are now third in Group F table behind Ivory Coast and Gabon. Neighbors Tanzania will play their second qualifying match against Morocco today as Rwanda hosts South Africa.
Harambee Stars managed to bag their first win in the group stage matches of the World Cup 2026 qualification as they thrashed Seychelles 5-0. Michael Olunga placed Stars ahead in the earliest minutes of the game by scoring 2 goals at the 3rd and 6th minutes consecutively before Masoud Juma scored the 3rd goal, which winded up the first half. Gor Mahia striker Benson Omala came in the second half and scored the last goal for the Stars. Stars are now 3rd on the Group F table behind Ivory Coast and Gabon after playing 2 games. In the other CAF World Cup qualifying matches which were played yesterday, Gambia was defeated by Ivory Coast in a game which ended a 2-0 score. Liberia lost against Equatorial Guinea, and Madagascar thrashed CAD 3-0 among other matches. Today, neighbors Tanzania will play against Morocco as they look forward for second win. Rwanda will host South Africa as Cameroon will be battling with Libya. Derek Odhiambo, KUTV.
Thank you so much, Derek. Now, moving forward, Homa Bay County under-19 football team qualified for the semi-finals of the Talanta Hela tournament after thrashing Embu County team 9-0. Kenyatta Onyango scored 4 goals for Homa Bay, while Geoffrey Omondi scored 2 goals as he also missed a penalty. Homa Bay will battle Kirinyaga County team in the first semi-finals. Kirinyaga had a 2-2 draw with Kwale County team to proceed to semis. And the last story of the night, North Macedonia midfielder Jani Atanosov scored an own goal which helped England to have a 1-1 draw with Macedonia after Denis scored for Macedonia in their away game of the Euro 2021 qualifying games. Among the other games which were played yesterday is Denmark was defeated by Northern Ireland in a game which ended 2-0. San Marino lost against Finland as Czech Republic thrashed Moldova 3-0. That brings us to the end of our news tonight. My producer tonight was Arnold, and I'm looking at what she prepared here. We've captured everything, so it's time to go home. My name is Denis Omondi. My sign language interpreter tonight was Sheila Kinyaga. Have yourself a good night.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audio-visual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
Focus on Health is a show that creates awareness on matters health and informs you on various diseases, their causes, treatment, prevention, coping, and support. So join me, Bwari Michelle, every Thursday at 7:30 p.m.